Hello guys, welcome back to another content review. This time I'm going to review Daniel Tom. Sorry for not uploading anything because I wasn't too motivated to make any videos and I just had to catch up on my schoolwork. And if you guys are wondering, who is this character? Her name is Miu Iruma and she's a character from Danganronpa V3, Killing Harmony. And Emily also requested me to use Miu for this content review. But let's start this content review. Well, if you don't know who's Daniel Tom, well, Daniel Tom is a user who literally has made salutes, rants, or sometimes crossover videos. And I bet you're wondering, how many rants did this user make? Well, he did make a lot of rants. Like, literally, he did. Well, I'm not gonna go through all of them because that would take me like ages for me to do. But instead, I'm gonna look at 3 of them in particular. First off is going to be his rant on The Simpsons. Well, as I can tell, that commentary is gonna suck because he gave out valid reasons on to hate The Simpsons. But let's get on with this.
The Simpsons. Oh my god. This is the worst show ever on Fox TV.
Well, at least you didn't use the more-like term. And second of all, how is that the worst show on Fox TV? Can you explain?
The reason why I hate the show is because there's a lot of violence on it and has a lot of human language on it.
There's only mild language and mild violence. So do your research.
It's about the Simpsons family who likes to do a lot of bad gross scenes on it.
Well, you need to get over with those gross stuff anyways.
Bart Simpson is bad.
First of all, how is Bart Simpson bad exactly?
Lisa Simpson is a rip-off to Lisa Loud from the Loud House.
I got your remodel right here!
How is Lisa Simpson a ripoff to Lisa Loud from the Loud House? They don't have anything in common. And also, The Simpsons came way before the Loud House did. Do your research.
Homer Simpson keeps saying the word dough all the time.
Well, that's his catchphrase. And to be honest, I do find that catchphrase, which is dough, that Homer kept saying was so hilarious. And it's so memorable. But let's continue with this.
And Lisa and Bart Simpson's mother and Maggie are bad.
Well, Lisa, Bart, and Maggie's mother's name is Marge. And how is Marge bad exactly?
And Maggie looks like a baby.
Well, that's because Maggie is a baby. And besides, Maggie's pretty much the youngest out of the Simpsons family as well. And also, just because that you think that Maggie was a baby doesn't mean you have to insult her.
She's a ripoff of Maggie Pesky from Maggie and the Buzz and the Maggie.
How is Maggie Simpson a ripoff to Maggie Pesky? Just because that she has the same name doesn't mean that she's a ripoff. Also, people can have the name of Maggie whenever they want to. Oh, didn't I forget to mention that people can have the name of Lisa whenever they want to? Like for example, Lisa Gaming Roblox for example. I apologize for being off topic, but let's still continue with this.
And from Buzz and the Maggie and Maggie in the First Piece.
Bruh, they still don't have anything in common. Think before you say it.
And this show had a movie called The Simpsons the Movie, which that movie is very awful and is PG-13.
Correction, The Simpsons movie is amazing and it's clearly a masterpiece. And besides, I like The Simpsons movie, although it's rated PG-13, but I enjoyed it.
And this movie has a lot of guns on it.
So what? Deal with it.
And the show too. And it's going to be on Disney Plus.
Like I said, deal with it.
Which I'm not going to buy on Disney Plus. And this entire movie and show has a lot of sex and violence on it.
Dude, like I said before, there's only mild violence. And not to mention, mild sexual, you know? And think twice before you say it.
And the show is inappropriate.
You might want to rethink that again, because The Simpsons is a little inappropriate, you know?
And the show has a lot of bad words on it, including the Simpsons characters.
Do I need to repeat myself again? And besides, there's only mild language in The Simpsons.
The animation's bad. The entire show has a lot of sex on it.
First of all, how is it bad exactly? And like I said before, there's a little sexual in it, you know?
And the entire show is too cancer on it.
I have nothing to say about this.
Thank God it got canceled, and I hope it gets taken off Fox soon.
You might want to rethink that again. And besides, The Simpsons didn't get canceled, you know? And you don't know when The Simpsons is going to get canceled or get taken off the air.
Do you know watch the show? The Simpsons fans.
Well, I agree with some users who likes The Simpsons.
And Dino hates the show. Heisaki Newsline's over 2006, and DD5 Exhibit on the Secret Museum fan. They both hate the show so much. It's because there's a lot of violence on it.
So what? It's only a little violence, so get over with it.
The Simpsons is the worst.
Correction, The Simpsons is the best, and it's a great masterpiece.
And forget about the Sam's and Nosses.
What does the Sam's and Nosses have to do with this rant? Although I never heard of Sam's and Nosses.
Victoria's is so many times better than The Simpsons. End of rant.
What does Victoria's have to do with this rant? Although I like Victoria's. And well, I have to say, that rant sucked. Because he made false ripoff claims, he gave out tons of valid reasons to hate The Simpsons, and he even said it's way too violent, and even too sexual, and too much swearing, when it only has a little violence, a little sexual, and a little language here. Anyways, now let's move on to this next video called Caillou Gets Grounded. So, let's get on with this next one.
Caillou gets grounded? No. This Grounded series sucks.
How does this suck? Can you explain?
This is worst Grounded series I have even seen on Beyond.
And how is that the worst Grounded series on Beyond? Well, I know you guys may be saying, Elena-chan, didn't you also make a rant video out of Caillou Gets Grounded? Well, yes, but now I'm going to handle when people are making grounded videos out of Caillou from now on. But to be fair, some of the Caillou Gets Grounded videos are pretty much hilarious to watch. But let's still continue with this.
This Grounded series is when Boris Andoris gives Caillou hot sauce. Give him a shower with 60 degrees. Caillou doesn't deserve to be grounded because he is nice boy.
Wow, that is some pretty bad grammar here. Also, I thought you were going to say a nice boy.
And Caillou doesn't do bad things.
Well, Caillou did some bad things in some episodes. Like for example, the part where he pinched his sister, Rosie, in the episode called Big Brother Caillou. And the part where Caillou just throws a tantrum when he didn't go to a circus, in the episode where Caillou goes to a circus. You know, those are some examples that Caillou did some bad things. Making him like a bad person? Well, only a little.
When Boris gives his son a punishment day, he forces him to eat poop, which is so disgusting.
Well, I have to agree on that part because eating stuff like that is pretty much gross.
When Boris gives Caillou a punishment day, he chops Caillou's head off. Come on. That is child abuse and you can't get arrested for doing that.
Well, that's also another part I have to agree. And besides, chopping off someone's head is also wrong, which might be considered as cannibalism.
And Boris Andoris is worse than Hitler because they destroys Caillou's favorite things. And Boris Andoris says the numbers all over again and again, which is overused nowadays.
Well, I also have to agree on that part as well, because destroying someone's thing is also wrong.
Which Jay Kaiser hates killing video.
Well, that was old news, so we don't need to bring that up.
And they have a movie called Caillou Gets Grounded the movie, which is the worst. The animation is bad. And this Grounded series is not made by kids. I hope this Grounded series gets banned before 2022.
Well, that's never going to happen. Well, unless these videos can get age restricted based on community guidelines or get taken down.
Do you know likes this Grounded series? Finaf at PlayStation Fan 5000. He likes this series because he hates Caillou. But I respect his opinion on it.
Well, that's true. And that's good on how you deal with his opinion.
And do you know who hates this Grounded series? Disney Jack 95. And the rest of the Caillou fans. We hate this Grounded series because it is getting too old nowadays.
Well, sometimes you need to handle when Caillou gets grounded because, you know, most of Caillou Gets Grounded videos were meant for entertainment purposes only.
Caillou Gets Grounded sucks. And so does Rosie Gets Grounded.
What does Rosie Gets Grounded have to do with this rant? Are you just being off topic?
Caillou gets ungrounded is so many times better than Caillou gets grounded. End of rant.
And what does Caillou gets ungrounded have to do with this rant? And you're just still being off topic once again? Now let's move on to his last rant. And his last rant is going to be his rant on Chris Animate. Well, no. I'm now neutral over to Chris Animate since he is just trying to improve his behavior. Although he still takes nursery rhymes way too seriously. Let's just do this so we can end this.
Chris Animate. No, this user sucks.
How does he even suck? Can you explain?
This user rants on nursery rhymes way too seriously, which I like nursery rhyme.
Well, that's because it's only just his opinion on nursery rhymes, you know?
When he made a rant on Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, he added bleep censors, which is a swear word.
They're only just censored, you know? So get it right.
And he makes too many grounded videos out of nursery rhymes characters when they are troublemakers.
Well, if you really don't like the nursery rhymes characters getting grounded, then you can at least just ignore them.
And this user's saying the more like term and the failure adventures term, which is getting old nowadays.
Well, that's the only one thing I have to agree on because sometimes the failure adventures term and the more like terms are just getting old nowadays.
And he is a childhood kid's destroyer just like Peter Animate and Dharma the Max wannabe.
And how?
I used to like this user, but now I don't. I starting like it in the past, and I now hate him in 2021 because he is about to add bleep censors. I hope this user gets terminated soon.
Well, that ain't gonna happen. Well, unless he gets 3 copyright strikes or 3 community guideline strikes.
Do you know who likes this user? Henry Stickmin and Caillou Rules 2012. He made a salute on it, but his opinion is handled.
Well, that's good on how you handle his opinion on Chris Animate.
And do you know who hates this user? Reynaldo Hernandez. He made a rant on it in the past. Chris Animate sucks, and so does Bad and All Who Rocks Nickelodeon Sucks 2006.
What does Bad and All Who Rocks Nickelodeon Sucks 2006 have to do with this rant? Although I still despise on that user, and pretty much this user has been inactive all day.
Leo Tuber 2021 is so many times better than Chris Animate. Ended rant.
Thank God that last rant is over. Well, what can I say about this user? Well, honestly, I really hate those rants. First of all, he made false rip-off claims, he gave out tons of invalid reasons. And also, did I forget to mention, he also praises nursery rhymes or even baby shows like it's a gift from God. But that should do it now. Thanks for watching, I'll see you later, and bye.